Hi everybody, today we're going to visit a place called Blue Roof. Blue Roof is actually a community, a lot of artists gathering there. You know, in a country where majority of senior government officials holding engineering as well as technology degrees and whose primary focus has been to catch up in manufacturing since the so-called open up. Aesthetics and pursuit of beauty have long been sidelined in China without receiving much attention or resources. So it's no surprise that the economy boomed after joining the WTO in 2001, went hand in hand with the long-term marginalization of the arts and a slow, arduous climb in public aesthetics awareness. I will give you some examples later. Believe it or not, back in the 1970s and 1980s, Andrew Wyeth, the famous US painter, was not just rocking the realistic paintings in the States. He was also making a deep impression on a generation of young Chinese. Those young artists at that time were born mostly in the 1950s and went through the so-called educated youth going to the countryside. This is a social movement. This movement was large-scale population migration. Its goal was to send urban educated youth to rural and broader areas, alleviate urban employment pressure, and promote rural development. So as you could imagine, young but with far less developed new place to live, they could long time holding back emotions and impulses that were looking for a way out. Back then, the painter, Chinese painter He Dongling, who is also an educated youth, was far from having formed his own style yet, and Wyeth's work gave him huge inspiration. One of his most famous paintings is with strong Wyeth influence and describing the rural years with loneliness. But honestly, the sensory impact of art doesn't last that long. After initial shocks, people realized that even though they were seeing a fascinating outside world, but the life shown in movies and TV series still felt incredibly distant. More importantly, their stomach were still rumbling. So like I said earlier, nearly all our resources were pouring into economic development, which, don't get me wrong, made total sense at that time. But as a side effect, those who still refused to give up on artistic pursuit just had to bear with the neglect, and this situation lasted quite a long time. Okay, let's do a quick back tour first. I just spoke with a property owner in the community. He told me currently there are two main types of business here. One is artist studios, of course, and which may also function as galleries. The other is commercial establishments such as coffee shop and the restaurant. Oh, okay, let's wait here. Will actually recognize a lot such kind of sunny days in winter time in Chengdu, because Chengdu was surrounded by very high altitude mountains and it's basically a basin. So in winter, such kind of sunny day is quite rare. I could see a lot of people go outside and take photos and also go for a walk. Alright, let's find a spot to park the bike. And we look around. This blue roof community was emerging around the early 2000s. It's called blue roof because back then there was this cheap, mass-produced, maintenance-free blue roofing material. So nearly all the low-income people on the city's outskirts use it on their houses. Also, since the community sits at the edge of the city, right where three districts meet, you can imagine management and security were not exactly stable. So rent there was really cheap. Naturally, struggling artists made the perfectly rational choice to move in, turning it into both their home and a space to connect. In today's video, however, you might find it hard to see the roof in blue color. Why? Because as some Chengdu local artists like He Dongling I mentioned earlier, they moved in and get international recognition, reputation with outstanding efforts. Plus, with more ordinary people have climbed out of material hardship, they've started wanting to appreciate beauty. So Blue Roof got a second look by both insider and outsider. With support from the community and the government, the place has to be largely revamped. You can barely tell what it looked like before. This is one of the buildings in this Blue Roof community, He Dongling Museum. It's his own studio and gallery, and this is also open to other young artists. More importantly, this space was designed and built by himself.